Really? I just started the video. Hello, everybody. I am doing much better, Bentley. I just needed a couple days to sulk in my misery. And, yeah, it was a rough couple days. All bad news that I could possibly get just all came in at the same time, which is fine, and I'd rather it be that way. Just get it all done and over with so I can cry and get it out and move on with my life. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over a few things that I saw in the comments, and I know most of you have said amazing things, and I thank you so much for that. Your comments have been awesome. And other comments have been with suggestions of things I should do, and I'm sure you all mean well, but I kind of just want to go into detail on why those possibilities can't be a possibility. So, with flipping the tiny house, the micro tiny house back over, some of you had suggested, why don't you get your truck and, put straps over it and pull it and tip it over with my truck. First of all, my truck isn't going to pull that by itself. Second of all, yes, Donnie has a vehicle, but his time is very limited, and when he can help, that option is there, and it will eventually happen. It's just going to take time. I mean, we just got over this hurricane. There's things that have to be done before then with work and all that. So, and then as far as, so now let's say we are there with two trucks or his truck or whatever, and we strap the tiny house up. Say this is the tiny house, and this is how it's supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be upright like this, and it fell over like this. And we get the truck. Here, well, this is the truck. We get the truck, and we tie the straps around the tiny house. This would be the roof. And we bring the straps over, so now the straps are laying this way, and we're going to tie it to the back of the truck. Okay, now physics come into play here. So if we're going this way with the truck, and the straps are just pulling straight across this way, all it's going to do is drag the tiny house on its side. That's not going to flip it back up the way we want to. Another reason why, even if that did work, it would not work, which a lot of you are new and probably haven't seen my previous videos of, what my property looks like or whatnot, but you have the tiny house right here, then you have the truck, and then you have about this much space that you would have in front of the truck before it goes down on a huge 30-foot or 20-foot decline down into the canal. Now, if that was to work, you're going to need a lot of momentum to get going to pull this tiny house up, which there isn't enough space to do that. Otherwise, the truck is going to end up in the canal. That won't work anyways. Now, some of you suggested a crane. That is a great idea. Do any of you have one I could borrow? Because I don't have a crane. And because both of my rental income sources have completely stopped, I don't have the money to pay an hourly wage to a crane operator to come bring over this huge crane and lift my tiny house back upright. It costs a lot of money to rent a crane, by the hour or by the day or whatever. So the plan is, eventually, once things calm down, Donnie works for a construction company, and they have the equipment, not a crane, but some type of, I don't know, I know he's going to cringe at me saying this, or I'm not saying it right, but I don't know, it would be some sort of equipment, not a backhoe, not a little, I don't even know the words of them. Anyways, it would be something with some sort of bucket that could pick it up, wrap around the back end of the tiny house, and from the roof part where it's laying down, and pull it up this way. That is the plan. When that's going to happen, I do not know. Now, most of you have been amazing with your comments and your well wishes and positive vibes and all of that, you know, but there's been a few here and there that have just said some absolutely ridiculous comments that either for the fact that they just like to be a mean person, or because they just can't fathom what exactly is going on here in Southwest Florida. And I know it's hard when you're in a different state and you're watching from TV and you're just seeing pictures and stuff. You can kind of get an idea, but to actually be in it and living it is a whole different story. And yes, I am grateful for my life. Yes, I am grateful for my family's life. Some of you are probably looking at my tiny house or my float home and being like, oh, what's the big deal? You know, you can just do this or you can just do that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, move on with your life, sit out front and smoke a joint, you know. But first of all, I don't smoke, so can't do that. And to move on with my life, it would mean rebuilding what I have built over these last 2 years. I retired or semi-retired or whatever you want to call it at the beginning of this year from my cleaning and staging business that I have done for many years. My body is physically getting to the point where I just couldn't do it anymore. I would be in pain every single night, cry when I'd go to bed, scrape every little ounce of energy that I had to get up in the morning and go do it all over again. It's not easy work, and I didn't want to do it anymore. So I tried to set up my life to where I didn't have that huge overhead and I didn't need to work as hard anymore. And my rental properties with the tiny house was my retirement plan. And Ian kind of ruined that plan for me. But I'm going to obviously keep moving forward and do what I have to do to rectify that issue in the best way that I can, but it's just going to take time. And I'm allowed to grieve about what has happened to me, even though to you it might not seem as bad compared to what's going on in Fort Myers Beach. And yes, it's not as bad as that. People out there have completely lost their homes, you know, and I get it. I'm not trying to compare, you know, oranges to apples here, but in my little bubble, in my little world, what has happened to me matters to me, and it is a big deal to me. And that's what I have to worry about right now, is trying to put my life back together. And it's hard. I'm definitely not here trying to get pity or any type of sympathy or playing the victim or any of that. That's not at all what I'm trying to do. None of you have said that, but I'm sure some of you are thinking it, and maybe you're not. I don't know, but I just, you know, even the money thing, I thank you guys so much, the ones who have donated. I mean, because me driving around and checking, doing wellness checks for these people that I don't know, it's kind of taxing on me, I'm not going to lie, and it has taken its toll on me trying to do that. It's very hard to drive around a neighborhood that has just been hit by a massive, you know, hurricane, and with debris all over the ground and trees in the way and down power poles and ambulances and FP&L and all these workers, and it's just chaos. And it's hard. What should be like a little 20-minute drive around the town quickly turns into an all-day event because you can't get into certain ways and stuff like that. And I'm trying to do the best that I can and help and do my part, and I will still do that. If there's anybody who has family in Northport, Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte, Arcadia, within my little circle, and you haven't heard from your family, please let me know, and I will do my best to try to go there or reach out to them or see if I can connect with them to give you some sort of peace of mind. When it comes to my float home, I'm just going to have to do what's best for me under the circumstances. And the bottom line is, it's ruined and there's really no fixing it. So it would just have to either rebuild or just completely throw that whole plan and idea out the window altogether and do something else, which I'm perfectly fine with doing too. But these are things you're all just going to have to stick around and find out what happens. I mean, right now I have no idea and no real plan, but things will come together, and I'm sure of that somehow, some way. And I'm just going to keep staying positive and focus on moving forward. So I'm doing great now, and thank you guys so much for sticking around and watching. Please, if you are enjoying my content, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, throw me a comment. I really love seeing your guys' comments, and I try to comment back to everybody, but sometimes it doesn't show me like notifications. If somebody sends a message, it won't show me, or I just haven't gotten around to it. But know that I'm reading them, and I appreciate everything. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Florida strong. Bye.